Welcome to jobskillshare.org. In this video, I'm excited to announce a brand new membership in JSS, which is called Lite, and I'm also going to quickly discuss that in our brand new website and learning management system. Now you see that each and every membership comes with a hands-on access. Now we need to understand what are the differences between sandboxes and guided practice labs. So I'm going to discuss that in our first video, which is about Lite membership. So let's talk about it. Why Lite membership is powerful membership for anyone who want to start JSS courses. So if you're new to IT, I think this is the perfect membership for you to get started. And then later on, if you feel like you need more guidance or you need more guided practice, then you should upgrade to our premium level. Now, a little history about our memberships. We did not have any membership or Lite membership first, and then our Plus membership didn't have any lab access before. So because of the demand, because a lot of people were asking us, hey, with your powerful JSS courses, can you add some of the access that we can just go and practice? Then this is where we really worked out something for you. Of course, you need to understand how to do it and kind of follow the guidance to take a full advantage of Lite membership. Now, what is a JSS courses in Lite membership? If you look at it, it says all JSS IT courses. What does that even mean? JSS Job Skills Share created courses are very powerful, and they are extremely useful if you are getting into IT, or let's say you just got a job in IT, because the access you are going to get is massive. So I'm going to show you quickly how you can check the content before you even get into getting into this type of membership. So if you scroll down, there's a FAQ section, and it says, what is JSS courses? So if you come over here, there are two ways you can kind of understand what is JSS courses. So if you look at it, we have over 7,000 plus lab videos created in JSS courses. So it's very powerful that if you're going to learn skills, then this is the way to go. So there are two ways you can do that. You can download the catalog. So the catalog is going to open a PDF where it's kind of like an advisory catalog. So if you're brand new to IT, it's going to say, hey, if you're new to IT, look at this icon and then go to the courses based on these icons. So let's say, for example, it says IT Fundamental V1.0 course. It gives you some kind of description. And of course, this is a PDF. It's not going to have every course out there. It's just an advisory PDF. So it still comes with a lot of courses right here. It tells you exactly what to take, Cisco courses and all that kind of stuff. But if let's say you want to open this course, you're going to open this directly from this PDF link, and it opens the course in JSS. So when you open the course, and when we say JSS courses are not just I'm going to name Udemy. A lot of people kind of compare, oh, is this fundamental? I took fundamental on Udemy. It was like 2-3 hours, very good. 3 hours or great content. Well, our courses doesn't work that way. Our courses are skills development courses, so they are pretty big. This means you need to learn skills. So even one fundamental course can be 20 hours. So that is something when people look at this price and then they see just one course is 20 hours, then just imagine we have over 40 courses. So how many hours are you getting in just $149 per year access? And that is not only the access you get in our Lite membership. This is why I call this powerful membership, because it comes with a lot of access. So if you go to the catalog now, here in this catalog, you can see how many courses Job Skills Share IT professionals are working on currently. So if it's a network stack or networking course, it's going to be led by network engineers, and you can see the courses are pretty lengthy. And that is what I'm talking about, that when we're teaching skills, we're not just taking extreme basics or teaching extreme basics. We're actually teaching some real stuff that is really going to help you out in this type of learning. If we're teaching something about cloud, it is started and we have started working on. So our courses never ends. We have to come back and add those skills and update it. So this is why some of the courses are very long, and that gets more and more updates because this is currently in the market. For example, if it's a modern desktop administration course, let's say this is a 10 hours course, then there gotta be something, let's say MD 100. So let's say if you check 100, MD 100 over here, it is gonna go out and bring that course to you, and it's going to say it's 23 hours. So you can see the first course is a lot, many hours. So let's say you wanna learn about IT support skills, and you want to know, okay, what is covered inside this course. You can come over here and check, okay, this is going to cover all of these things right here. And if you scroll down here, you can see the lectures on the first section. So if it's going to say lecture and demo, so even the lectures are great to get started, but it comes with demos as well. So if you scroll all the way down, when the module starts, these are all lab videos. This means it's going to be all hands-on type of learning that you're going to achieve out of these videos. So just video access in JSS is massive, and that is just one or two courses that I have demonstrated over here, that you can quickly come over here without getting into a membership or paying, just to see what content is covered. You can quickly come over here before you go and start subscribing. This is the way to actually check all of this content in JSS, which is very, very powerful. Now going back to our Lite membership. All right, now let's talk about SandBox. What is SandBox and how is it different from all guided practice labs in premium access? SandBox solution, we just added it in 2022 starting from March. A lot of our members who are taking our JSS IT courses wanted to replicate some sort of skills in some type of lab. And that is possible when you have your own virtual machines. But the problem is that a lot of people were complaining that I have a 6 GB RAM laptop but still having problems even with 8 GB. I have Mac, I have different type of device, and of course providing support to home laptops or desktops is impossible for any platform. So number one reason is to have some sort of systems that we can use, and then kind of our members can replicate things if they're using a Lite version. Now, of course, this comes with challenges. And the challenge is very clear that because this is not guided, because it's not possible to provide something that big in this price with so much that needs to be done, this is why a lot of people go with premium membership, because it's guided labs. All right, now let's talk about SandBox. What is SandBox and how is it different from all guided practice labs in premium access? SandBox solution, we just added it in 2022 starting from March. A lot of our members who are taking our JSS IT courses wanted to replicate some sort of skills in some type of lab. And that is possible when you have your own virtual machines. But the problem is that a lot of people were complaining that I have a 6 GB RAM laptop but still having problems even with 8 GB. I have Mac, I have different type of device, and of course providing support to home laptops or desktops is impossible for any platform. So number one reason is to have some sort of systems that we can use, and then kind of our members can replicate things if they're using a Lite version. Now, of course, this comes with challenges. And the challenge is very clear that because this is not guided, because it's not possible to provide something that big in this price with so much that needs to be done, this is why a lot of people go with premium membership, because it's guided labs. So in summary, SandBox is a lab with multiple devices and a domain controller already configured, so you don't have to recreate domain controllers again and again, and you can quickly replicate things from JSS courses, keeping in mind that we do not support any learning content in the SandBox labs because it's not guided. There could be issues when you're replicating things because we are using premium labs, and some of the things may not be able to replicate, so you will have to just skip those type of learning if it cannot be replicated here. You may want to use your personal lab if you want to replicate still, but if you're using the SandBox lab, there will be no support provided for you if you're trying to replicate things and it's not working. Because let's say, for example, you're trying to install a remote operating system. Now, the SandBox lab may not have a capability to have a Hyper-V or a virtual environment inside the SandBox lab. So it may have multiple machines, servers, powerful clients, so you can learn a lot about Active Directory, Windows 10 administrations, and other things. But if it gets to a boot level, then you may get stuck. So you'll just have to skip that, or maybe think of upgrading it to a premium level labs. So now I'm going to demonstrate Lite membership in action. So the first thing you will do, if you decide to go with Lite membership, you'll click on subscribe, fill out the information, and check out with secure systems like Stripe or PayPal. And then you will basically see a portal on the top right here that indicates that you have successfully created your Lite membership and you can get started immediately. So you can click on portal and that will take you to your learning management system, which is also very powerful. So after checkout, make sure to click on portal, or you can always log back in with username and the password that you have created. And this is our learning management system. As you can see, for the first time when you log in, it is going to redirect you to the profile. In this new system, we have created this really nice profile where now you can learn things in JSS, but at the same time, you can add it to your profile, so it's easy for you to represent yourself. In modern day, a lot of people are sharing links on LinkedIn and different type of resources, and people do click on such things, and that's the proof is that a lot of people call us and then they ask us questions about your skills or projects. So you can easily come over here, and the first thing that we will recommend everyone to put your right name, like a full first and last name, because of the certificate that if you have that option for premium access, then you can use that. In some projects, we may have something in customized certification in future, so you should put your full name. And let's say you're working on Windows client, Windows 10 systems, then you may want to put where you are, basically in 0 to 40 entry, and then it goes beyond that. So you can always do something like this to make your profile look good. Of course, you're going to be doing this after when you finish your courses, and this way at least you have some kind of check by yourself, like you're coming here and kind of like representing yourself in a nice way. And then when you finish, let's say, Active Directory project from your courses, you can pick an Active Directory project. Let's say we pick this one, ticketing system. These are the courses that are available in JSS, and we kind of add things as we add more to our platform. So if you click on view profile now, you can see it is reflecting on your profile, and it's going to show up here. If you finish a course in JSS and you have access to the certification, then it's going to basically show right here, and the badges will show as well right here. Now, the first thing you should do is to click on dashboard, because this is where we are providing updates, and you can easily start from dashboard as well. If you don't know where to start, the same catalog that I shown in the beginning, you can click here again. And if you have a premium access and you would like to know how do you use your lab access with learning, so there's so many labs in premium access. As you can see, there's so many that of course people can get confused. What do I do? What kind of labs should I start if you're a beginner? Then we have this little nice diagram that shows you, okay, if you do these labs, then this is what you are capable of. Like, you're going to be looking at the roles at this level, and it's kind of like a mixture of things right here that's happening. Now, of course, we want you to subscribe to our newsletter. This is very important for people who want to get more offers from us, because we do have customized trainings. We may send you a video from a different training. We may send you an offer, or we may just send you an updates that what's happening in JSS. So it's very, very important for people to subscribe. If you're a beginner and you just want to start something very quickly and you don't want to waste time, you just want to get into a course right away, and you would ask us, what is the first course that I want to start in JSS? From dashboard, you can just click on this right here, take this course, and it takes you to Fundamental V1.0 course. This is our first course that we recommend every single person to start if you're trying to become an IT support professional. Now, another question is, where is my courses? Simply, you can come over here. The courses that you saw in catalog will all be added right here. As you can see, every course will be added into your library, and that's what the powerful access is that every single membership that we have, whether it's Lite, Plus, or Premium, and even we have a basic membership where it's just a video access on that same page, you can actually buy that membership as well. you can just get access to our powerful video courses, as you can see right here. And to start your courses, you simply basically click on the course and start the course. So if I want to pick a, let's say, MD101 course, I'm just going to click on start. And when you click on start, this page will give you the overview curriculum. Let's say if you want to quickly see what is the curriculum about, and can expand it and just see how much time each curriculum have. And if you want to get started, then you click on start course, and you have this nice way to get started. This is getting updated right now. As you can see, there's no video in the first one, but then after that there's videos getting started right now. So you can see there's so much you can learn from this type of courses. For example, when you go to the MD101, there's autopiloting going on, provisioning packages. This is an advanced course, so you see a lot of things are advanced. Deploying solutions, deploying applications, working with enrollments and inventory. SCCM is all available in this section. Now, if you see something like this where it says 0 minutes, this means it's getting worked out. There are probably issues with the lab environment, so this is getting fixed in our courses as well. But if everything is good in lab environment, you're going to see 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, everything. So this is the powerful thing about JSS, is that we're not just uploading courses and forgetting about it. We're coming back over here to make sure it is in sync with some of the labs that we're doing. And if, let's say, you're confused about what course to start, you don't know exactly where to go, then my recommendation, if you're a beginner totally starting from scratch, then start with the learning path. You click on the all paths. Here is modern IT support professional path available, and you can enroll to this path, and then that way you're going to be tracking your path in my path right here. Like, this is where you're going to see that you need to achieve this certificate or badge from this whole path. So the whole path basically consists of multiple courses that you're following for quite a long time, 3 to 6 months. So you can see course 1, course 2, course 3, course 5, course 6. You can directly open this course from here just to see which course that is. It's also available on the bottom right here. So you see this is IT Fundamental V1.0 course, and you need to finish this first course to start this learning path, and also all the way till the end, till you start applying for jobs. It makes it super easy for you to kind of be more targeted or not losing your focus. If you ask me, where do I get my lab access, because I just purchased that SandBox, and I'm going to remind again that SandBoxes are not guided labs. So here you click on it and you see this is where your SandBox will show. As you can see, this is a dashboard. This is my stats. My stat will not work in SandBox because you're only using this as a custom solution. You just want to access server, so we don't track that. If you were to use a practice labs, guided labs, and there, in my status, it will show that module 1, you have spent this much time. Is it completed or is it not completed? All of that information will show, which we use for our trainers or our teachers, or colleges uses this same access, and they use this type of access when they want to track students' work over here. So I'm going to get back to this little later on in this, and this is when you put your mouse over here. This is the password. When you click on it, you put the username and password in there, and then you can log in. I'm going to get that very quickly after I go over some of these features. Video library is another powerful feature that we offer in our platform. This is 7,000 videos in this one library. And with that Lite membership, this is also included. So sometimes people are looking for something very quickly. Let's say, for example, you're looking for Active Directory. When you look for Active Directory like this, then anything that we do in our platform, whether we are using some sort of program and we are using a test out, and then there may be something like a video in that, and that's where we're going to put that in there in our library. So you can see very quickly you can find Active Directory. If you want to learn about specific thing, like for example adding a computer to Active Directory, you would find so many examples. Add a computer to Active Directory, you click on video, and then of course it will show up in the video format. So here you can watch the whole video and then kind of like learn from it very, very quickly without getting into a course. Similarly, WDS, computer management, troubleshooting, whatever you want to learn, it's kind of like a YouTube, but it's not something that is gonna take you aside, or you are part of this membership. So it will let you know, is this coming just from some kind of training, or is this coming directly from a lab, which module 9 exercise number 2 you will understand, okay, this is a part of this lab. And if you have a full lab access to premium lab, then of course you can get to the same lab and find the same exercise, which is really cool for you to find things like that. Same, all courses are available here. Just in case your course is not showing up in my courses, then you can always come over here, search that course in this area, and then basically click on it and then continue the course. It will automatically add to your my courses. If it's still not working, let us know. We will work with our support team, and they will definitely fix it. But here you can actually find courses again. Is this a nice way that you have this portal access now, and you don't have to go outside to the web page. So my membership, you can always come over here and change membership or upgrade membership. And Wiki is another very important section in our platform. Here you're gonna learn something that is pretty unique to people. Like, I want to get started very quickly. I don't want to go through the whole support learning path because it's taking 3 to 4 months. I want to do this in 2 months. So then we have suggestions for you. Hey, if you want to do that, there are some warnings, but here you go. You click on this articles and follow this whole step by step, and somebody is explaining this. Hey, if you do this, it's important. If you do this one, this is not that important. So it's important for you guys to understand that my articles is the place for you to come and get the first line of help immediately, because this is what's going to make it really easy for you to learn. Then understand the policies, and this is where the lab policies will play a big role. And someone when they're doing a SandBox learning, it's very important for you to know and understand your access. So let's talk about that. Let's go back to practice labs, and here we are going to open this lab now, and I'm going to demo this and give you some tips on how do you learn labs and how do you work with this platform. So you have this link right here. You got this password, username, everything. We're going to go ahead and use it just like that. I'm copying. So remember, when you copy passwords anywhere on web or anything, normally when you copy things, if you copy things more, that means you're also copying white spaces. So a lot of time people come and they put a username and password, and then they basically think that their password is not working. That's because you're putting the white space right in front of it or right behind it, and that's why things are not working. So you got to make sure that your copying is correctly done. So if I click on login, this is where you're going to see some of the practice labs videos and agreements. Now it's super important for you to download this user guide. It is going to be your friend, because like we say in our policies, we do not support, and practice lab will not support your learning inside the sandboxes, because you're doing custom learning, and we have already explained it that we're using premium labs to do our courses, and we highly recommend people to go with premium labs so you can follow the same course, same content, and then you get support from practice lab 24/7. But if you're going to be using something custom, then there is no support. The only support that you're going to get is for devices, and still for that you should really go over the user guide, and that is going to save you a lot of time, and there's going to be no confusion with our support team when you send them a message, hey, why is this not working, or why am I not seeing content in SandBox. They are going to let you know that this is not a part of JSS membership, and support is not a part of that. So I hope that it doesn't create any miscommunication or misunderstanding between JSS support. Here you click on continue, and now you're inside the lab. So here you see this is only one custom lab in JSS, and when you click on this, it tells you what this is. This is an environment. You get 12 months access. When you click on this introduction lab guide, click on start, and now you see that this is what you get with this full sandbox. So this is what I was mentioning, that it's exactly like how you have a virtual box. You create a domain controller, you have all these environments and everything, but it is way more powerful in a way that you can go anywhere in the world now, open your box, a sandbox, and of course it's going to be time limited, but everything is done for you, so you don't have to redo your domain controllers again and again to learn the basics of IT. And for that, to learn the basics of IT, once you know how to create a domain controller, and once you understand that idea, as an IT support person, you don't work on servers that much. You don't build solutions. So that piece of training is going to go away. You need to focus on what's on and running, because that's how systems engineers and IT managers will build their systems, and you only get hired when someone have already done that kind of stuff, and you are doing management more for desktops and things like that. So this is why it's important that to understand that this is just like a company. Everything is set up for you. For example, this is a domain controller. It is already set up for you. So you don't need to go and recreate a domain controller. If you do want to create a domain controller, there's a standalone server. You can actually do that on this server. And once you understand how it's done, then of course you can reset the lab or leave it for 60 minutes. It's going to reset on its own. Now, why did I say in the beginning that it's super important for you to understand the lab guides before you even start anything on these labs? So if you click on this little question mark again, there's a lab guide right here, and I'm pushing on this because there's no support. So I hope everyone will take this very serious and they're going to go over this lab guide, because this is going to teach you how do you log into these machines. What if this machine is signed out? Then what happens then? What if it's showing a password section? Then where's the password? So when you click on this little eye icon, it gives you password information and everything. What does this mean? It is an auto login, is reconnecting. But what if you don't want to log in? You want to see the screen. You want to see the logon screen. Then you need to click on this icon. So who's going to tell you all this stuff? This is the lab guide that's going to really, really guide you. And in our documentation section, if you go to the KB, there is documentation for a video or how to access practice labs quick guide. So if you click on it, there's a video right here that you should watch. So these are the sort of things that I really want people to focus and make your learning very, very beneficial. So how powerful are these labs in SandBox? Well, you're looking at about 20 GB plus RAM, and each server is 4 GB RAM right here on Windows side. So most likely in your lab environment, you're going to be using the Windows and some Linux if the lab or the course have something about Linux, but we're mostly focusing on the Windows side. As you can see, the first system over here is the powerful system, where you're going to learn a lot of basics from Active Directory, Windows Server related stuff, or let's say DHCP or anything like that. You should be able to learn that from this server. So let's say, for example, you want to learn about Active Directory on domain level. So you have this domain controller, and here you have Systems Manager. And when you go to Systems Manager, you see that Active Directory is running on this server. So right from here, you can learn about Active Directory on a real systems, and you can see Practice Lab is already in there. And this is what I'm talking about, that when you have a SandBox like this, you can look at any videos. Let's say this is a training that you're looking on a YouTube, or you're looking at JSS training that we have done for 5 days with our students, and in that we are using, let's say, a little bit of older training where we have been using VMware and things like that. You may have to watch some of the video and kind of like understand, okay, I'm not going to create the whole domain controller because it's already there, but I understand how this is done. But I want to work on Active Directory. That is something that I need to learn, because as a help desk, I need to learn about adding a user, resetting their password. So you are free to come over here and play around with this and mess around with it. And let's say you have 60 minutes in this lab and you want to go and drink coffee or something like that. You can click on this again, and this is 60 minutes again. So try to learn something in chunks and then come back to something that you can kind of achieve that in 60 minutes or more, if you want to spend more time over here. So you can clearly see that this is added. This is a whole network right here that you have, and you don't need to be worried about RAM or slow servers or things like that. But one thing is important, again, a reminder, is that when you're doing this stuff, you're basically doing this by yourself. So there's going to be no support provided to you from any of our support or Practice Lab support, because you're doing a custom learning over here. Now, when it comes to a point where you want to follow courses now this is great that you have all these systems right here. You can go to the machine and test group policy. Let's say you went to a group policy in a domain controller, you opened it, you tried something in group policy from here, and you started to implement it. So let's say you add something over here and you go to the machine right here, PLAB Win 10, and now you want to test that logon. So of course you can see it's already logged on, and if you try to log in again, when you try to restart this machine, it automatically logs you into a profile. If you want to stop that, you will click on this little key icon and then do the reconnect again. It's going to take you back to the screen level, and here you can then test the user that you have created in your Active Directory, group policy, or anything at the user level that you would like to learn skills. Then that's how you can easily learn skills on SandBox, just like that. Now, what if you want to follow courses from JSS, and how is that going to work in this section? What is my recommendation? If you are a Lite member or Plus member and you have SandBox access only, just like this, then my recommendation is to follow courses till you can and skip the ones that you just can't do in this sandbox. You don't want to take stress because you don't want to get stuck in some sort of learning. So let's say, for example, you want to start with IT fundamental course. You could start it from here by searching. Let's say we want to look for IT fundamental. So you're going to come here, you're going to type IT fundamental just like that. And let's say it's not coming up like that. So you see that the first course is coming up called IT Fundamental. This is a new course. We don't recommend this to be our first course, even though it is also fundamental. But look on the top right here, we say it's part 2. So you're looking for that other course. So that's not coming up in your enroll courses. Well, that's fine. We can always go back to all courses, and that's a great way to demonstrate. If you cannot find a course, how do you find it here? I am going to do the same search, IT Fundamentals. And you can see now it came up with IT Support Fundamentals, and you're looking for IT Support Fundamentals V1.0 course because that is the one that we are working on currently. So if you scroll down, you see this is the course, IT Support Fundamentals V1.0. You're going to click on details. And once you start this course, it is going to be added to your enrolled courses. So you will wait a few seconds. If you're logged in, you can automatically start from here, start course directly. This is a 20 hours long course, very well-researched course for anybody who wants to get into IT. And this is not some basic fundamental. It covers a lot of technical things. So if you're going to click on Start Course right here, this is your JSS basically courses now. So when you come over here, this is where you start, and instructors talking about it. And of course, certain videos, I want you to watch the videos in the beginning because it's super important for someone who's new. And if you skip all this stuff right here, then you're just kind of learning technical skills, but you don't even know how to use it. And it's going to take you a very long time for you to get to the point where you will come back and say, oh, I missed the first videos. So I hope you will go over all these videos. But when it's time for you to kind of like practice in the sandbox, then how can you replicate things? This is the main idea of SandBox, is that if you're going to go for it, understand what or how you want to use it. So you're going to click on this module 1. You will go over the lecture, and let's say if it says know the differences, of course there's nothing you can do about it, but let's say use search. If you come to the search option, and let's say in this video, an instructor is going to go through a video and show you how to use search feature. But if you look at it, instructor is using different machines and showing you how to search or Google or run that feature from Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7. So you need to think about it. What do you have in the systems, or what kind of access do you have so you can replicate this? So if I go back to your course right now, if I click on it, what do we have here? We have server 2019, and I can do the same thing that instructor is doing. I can go to another server, or I can go to Windows 10. And if let's say I want to connect to this Windows 10, I'm going to click on this little icon right here. It's going to go back and start connecting my Windows 10. But this option is on. I'm going to uncheck it, and it's going to automatically connect me in. If not, then I need to put that password that is over here. But here you go. You have search environment right here as well. So you can replicate a lot of things from these courses. What you cannot replicate is when it's time for a course that is showing something at a virtualization level, or it may be doing something that is not available in that lab, that you are trying to get to it, but it's not available. So if you basically are going to do perform clean install, let's say for example in this course you're doing a perform clean install, I'm sure in this probably an instructor is using a virtual box. So let's go ahead and kind of watch that. So you see instructor over here is creating a machine in a Hyper-V virtual environment. Now that is not possible in system. If it has a virtual systems in here, that would have been possible, but these labs does not come with Hyper-V, so you cannot go into a lab and then open a Hyper-V, and that is something that our members should understand. And for that sort of skills learning, if you want to do a step-by-step learning, then I highly recommend you go with the premium membership, because then you're going to be opening this lab that instructor is using and you're going to be going to the practice lab, premium labs, and opening the same exact lab and doing the same process. If you want to learn at that detailed level, step by step, following instructor, then that is the only way to go in JSS, and a pretty good way. If you want to follow something just like that, where you can skip things and then know, okay, I can at least do this, update a driver, or maybe perform something like, let's say we already went through that, know about application compatibility is also on Windows level. So if instructor is showing that on a Windows level, you're going to go back to your computer right here and then open any application and try to replicate it. So again, our SandBox is not a solution where you can exactly duplicate, copy every single courses, but it is a very powerful solution that you can learn a lot of things, and we are creating a lot of content on basically on SandBoxes. So one of the things that I'm going to lastly talk about, let's say for example you want to get started with the content that we're covering right now on SandBox, you can actually find a course called Technical Skills V1.0. So you're going to come over here, you're going to type IT support, and once you do IT support, you can search for it, and let's say it doesn't show up in here, we're going to go back to the all courses, and here we're going to type IT support, and we're going to get technical, and if you just type tech, it's going to go out there and start looking for courses. So let's say this is not the right term that I use, I'm going to use technical, and if it's going to go out there and look for help desk technical skill V1.0, and that's how quickly you can learn. It's the feature for searching is very quick. So if you click on this view details, we're going to start this course right now. And you see, this is another thing that I want to mention. If you are so quick and not let this to see, okay, you're logged in or not, it's not going to work. So you have to wait for it to come back to this button after this spins for like 3 seconds. So now if I click on start course, you see it taking me back to the app again. So now in the technical course, basically we're teaching a lot of the skills that are kind of like known in the business environment very quickly. So we give some warnings. If you are brand new, then you're not starting with the technical courses, you're going to start with the fundamental courses. If you know the basics and you know Windows, or you know basic commands, ipconfig, and how to do things, then this course is a great course to get started right away. So you're going to do the first sections just to learn things. Now this is a super important section right here. Make sure you go over this full training. This is a live training done with our members who already have jobs right now. So this is going to teach you everything at that level. And then this is the SandBox that we're using right here. So there's a lot of things that we're adding now. So like I said, if you want to create a server, a domain controller on the SandBox, then yes, you can do it by following this lab right here. If I click on it, it will have a video, and then it will have a step-by-step instructions right here. So if you want to learn about, let's say, how do I work on Active Directory in this labs by myself, I want to create my own domain. If you click on it, then there's a video, an instructor is showing that, and step-by-step everything is in there. If you want to learn Office 365 stuff, then yes, you can do that from using these labs right here. But again, it's not going to be as much as how we have it for premium members, and that's a lot of content. This is just getting created right now. I hope I went through all of this, and I hope you understand the whole idea of a SandBox that just got added to almost all of our membership that we didn't have before, and now this is a great access for some people that want to get something hands-on done, but of course know the policies, and please after that make sure let us know what do you think about this. Thank you so much. This is Danish, and take care.